Among the many icons I have on my desktop are icons that go to various Second Life viewers. Some of them are simply called Second Life. I've got the Cool viewer, the Singularity viewer. In fact, I've got a couple more versions of the Cool viewer. I've got the Rainbow viewer, which is made by the same person that did the Cool viewer. I've got the Dolphin viewer. I have Firestorm, Emergence. I have several copies of Phoenix, and I even have a Phoenix viewer that I compiled myself. So, for different reasons, I have been keeping some of the older viewers on the system. Every time I install a viewer, I give it a whole new folder to install into to minimize interactions between the different installs of the viewers. Now, to organize this just a little bit, because that's an awful lot of viewers and an awful lot of icons they're taking up on my desktop, I can put them all into Select. So let's give this a try. Open up the main Select, and we're going to open up a new one here, and we're going to call it, well, let's call it Phoenix for the sake of talking. Well, we want to, problem we have is that I pressed open instead of new. So let's go to Programs, New. We say Phoenix. Press OK. Now we've opened up a new one called Phoenix. It's not configured, meaning that we haven't actually written its config file yet. So we want to do, let's move it down here where we can see what we're working on. We don't want it to be covering up our icons. The first one here is this Phoenix 1521185. So go Programs, Add, Name of Program. I'm going to call that Phoenix 1.5.2.1185. And I think that I want to grab parameters off of the actual shortcut. So I'm going to right-click from Select, right-click on the icon, and get Properties. And here we have the properties. And for our path to exe, we want everything that's in target. So we copy it to the clipboard, and then we paste it in there. And we've got to split this up a little bit. We only want the path to the exe. We do not want the arguments. So the arguments are going to be after the last quote. So first of all, we know we want to get rid of the first double quote. Now we go off to the right. And here we've found the second double quote, and we want to delete that. Now everything after that are the arguments, and we want everything that is part of the arguments, but only the arguments. So we copy the arguments to the clipboard and press delete so that we don't have the arguments remaining in this path to exe. Then we put the arguments down here in the program arguments box and paste them. and we want to say use program args. Now with Phoenix, it wants us to keep track of the start folder, so we want to say use start folder, and here when we check mark this use start folder box, the start folder option is enabled. Now instead of browsing for it, we're going to go over here to where it says start in our shortcut, and we're going to copy this whole information and then paste it in over here. And as usual, we want to take out the double quotes. Looks like the one at the beginning didn't make it. Okay, good. Now we want to press the OK button. And there we have our first Phoenix button. Supposedly 1521185. Let's enlarge the button so that we can see the whole thing. We're going to change it to a 75 by 75 icon just for kicks. And now we're going to double check that it works. All we do is click on it and see if it loads Phoenix 1521185. Looks like it's loading the Phoenix viewer. Says detecting hardware. As soon as it finishes loading the startup screen, I'm going to exit out of it so we can continue. I'm blind. Yeah. Little characteristic with these startup screens, they like to turn white and turn black again. So that would seem to work for our first Phoenix button. And let's go in and fancy it up a little bit. I want to put the icon on it. So I'm going to try and get the icon. Add the icon, press find icon, and let's see, Phoenix Viewer.exe, open it. Okay, we've got the small icon and the large icon. Let's use the large icon this time. And let's see, we want to change the location so we make this resemble our desktop shortcut. We align the image to upper middle, we put text align down to lower. That works pretty good. And we can simply press apply. And let's save it as a default so that we have the pattern for use for the other Phoenix buttons that we're going to make. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more Phoenix buttons to make. Let's programs, add, and we want to add Phoenix 1.5.2.1102. We're going to need to use the start folder. Let's see, we've got to open up that shortcut, get its properties, and copy what we need from it. And one of the things that I didn't do last time that helps is you can make this longer, because some of these long command lines you may want to see more of it. So if you want to, you can go through and grab this last part here, which is all of the command line arguments. Right click, select cut, click on the arguments field, right click and put paste. Now go back to this path, and we want to get rid of the double click on the end there. So we press the end button, backspace, backspace, and we've gotten rid of it. Press the home button, press delete, and we've gotten rid of the double click there. The next thing we want is the start folder. We copy that also from the shortcut and paste it in here. Get rid of the double click at the end, double click at the beginning. We want it to say use program args and press OK. And there we have our second Phoenix button. Since we saved the first one as our default, the second one drew upon that default style so that we don't have to do so much editing on it. Now we want to do another Phoenix button. Programs, add. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to move it down there, move it there. Right click on the Phoenix icon and get properties. Already highlighted for us, but I don't trust it. I'm going to do a Control A followed by a Control C to copy it, and then paste it into my name of program. I copy the command line arguments for it again, rather cut, paste them down here, click on use program args, go back up here, get rid of the double quotes, then go over here to the start folder, select all, copy, use start folder, paste, get rid of the double quotes. And you may have noticed that I've already made an editing mistake. Name of program has got my path to exe in it.